This is the story of fused Labubus and how the Labubu village was almost completely destroyed. But how did this happen? And who can stop it? The Labubus were always in danger of hunters and trappers looking to turn them into collectible monsters. But these Labubus weren't gonna get caught. They found themselves in a deep cave, and inside was a mysterious gemstone. And with neither wanting the other to have it, the gem began to glow, and the twins became fused together. Back at the village, their mother was looking for them. It was getting darker, and she was becoming worried. But as she was reporting her lost children, a monster attacked the village. It began destroying houses and ruining the farms. The village soldiers banded together, and they attempted to slay the beast. They were unsuccessful, and the beast was only getting more angry. But as the sun rose, the monster ran back into the woods, but not before the mother caught a glimpse of it and recognized it as her own children. A meeting was held the next day about how they would deal with the beast. The mother pleaded with the soldiers not to harm the monster, but nobody believed her that it was her children. But a voice spoke up from the corner. It was the elder Labubu. She began to tell an ancient story. A story of two powerful gems that were once one. The gem granted its owner great power, but when the owner's brother became jealous, he split the gems and took one half for himself to run away with. But in doing this, he unleashed a terrible curse. For the gems only worked properly together. And now that they were separate, they would retaliate against their holders, turning them into hateful monsters. The original owner feared his gem and hid it far away on a mountain so nobody could experience its evil. As for his brother, nobody knows where he hid his gem, but legend has it that if the stones are reunited, the curse will vanish and peace will prevail once again. The elder believed the mother's twins found the gem. And in order to save her children, the mother would need to find the second gem. The soldier's leader was still unconvinced, and he gave her 3 days to find it. And at the end of those 3 days, he would send an army to hunt and kill the beast. While they were planning, the fused Labubu was still causing destruction all throughout the forest. The mother left right away while the general began preparing for a hunt. On the first day of the mother's journey, she came across a raging river. She tried to swim across, but was almost swept away. Nothing would stop her from saving her kids. Back at the village, the Labubu general didn't want to wait, so they followed the trail into the forest. On the second day, the mother was attacked by wolves. She was very nearly eaten, but she managed to fend them off and quickly escaped. That's when she saw it. The mountain that held the gem was in sight. The general had found the fused Labubu, and he was already regretting going after the monster. On the third day, the mother made to start early and finally made it to the base of the mountain. Nothing could have prepared her for what came next. It was the fused Labubu. The mother dodged her children's attacks, but she couldn't stop it. But instead of attacking, it started heading straight towards the Labubu village. Determined to save her child and knowing that time was running out, the mother trekked up the mountain herself but she was too late! The fused Labubu made it to the village! And was being attacked by the soldiers! But despite their best efforts, the beast continued its destruction! Until a hero arrived! The twins' mother began speaking to her daughters. And to everyone's surprise, the monster seemed to listen. Soothed by its mother's voice, it stopped its rampage. The mother then reached into a sack and pulled out the missing gem. But as she held the gem shard in her hand, it began to darken. The mother was confused by this. Why wasn't it working? The gem became even more corrupted until something terrible came out of it. It was the evil brother. Everyone in the village was terrified. Now there were two monsters to deal with. The evil brother turned to the mother and swatted her away. The twins saw this attack and became enraged. They charged the evil brother to protect their mother. But the evil brother wouldn't be defeated that easily. The fight was on, and the monsters were destroying the village. The general ordered his soldiers to evacuate. The general picked up the twins' mother, who was having the most bizarre dream. The Labubu brother was speaking to her. He apologized for what his brother had started and told the mother that she was the only one who could fix things. But before she could ask him how, the mother woke up. She was safe with the rest of the village. She was then approached by the elder, who told her they had the legend all wrong. It wasn't the evil brother who brought his shard to the cave. It was the good brother. The evil brother must have found a way to trap himself in the gem in hopes of one day getting revenge on his brother's village. The elder Labubu told the mother that her twins only seemed to listen to her and that she had the power to stop this fight. And that's when the mother Labubu remembered what the brother had said in her dreams. It all made sense now. She knew how she was going to stop this. So she ran away from the safety of the soldiers and went back to the village, which was now destroyed. The monsters were still fighting, but the evil brother was getting the upper hand and knocked the twins to the ground. The mother called out for the twins and commanded them to grab the gem shard. But before the twins could even get back to their feet, the evil brother had grabbed the mother and was crushing her in his hand. The mother made one last cry to her children, and as she breathed her last breath, there was a crunching sound in the distance, followed by a powerful explosion. It was the gem shard. The evil brother began to disappear, and he let go of the mother, who fell hard to the ground. The fused monster ran over to their mother. She had to break the news to them that they can never be themselves again. But that doesn't mean they have to be angry, because she knew that deep down, they will always be her daughters. And with that final act of love, the mother Labubu died. The next day, when the village returned, they saw the fused monster again, but it was no longer to be feared. Instead, it was there to help. And from that day forward, it became the village's protector. Red wasn't done yet. He still had his hands on a Labubu and had a new plan in mind to make the Labubu into an infected monster. But after a couple of experiments, he managed to escape his lab and run back to its village. Red's experiments did something to the Labubu. It was infected. The village something was wrong with him. But I didn't know what to do. That's when the soldiers came. And they were the perfect distraction for me to catch a Labubu and take it to Bubba for answers. After some testing, Bubba figured out a cure. But there was one problem. We would need a non-infected Labubu to be able to create it. I told him we didn't have time for that. It wouldn't be long before the soldiers lost. That's when Bubba revealed something to me. While he was testing an invention, he saw something in the woods. He saved the Labubu and offered to take it back to its village. But it didn't want to go back. Because of its size, it had been bullied by the others. So Bubba offered her a home at the toy factory. Bubba brought me to the Labubu, but she was hesitant about helping the ones who had bullied her. I explained to her that she wouldn't be just helping the Labubus, but she would be saving the world. Because pretty soon, nobody would be safe. Finally, she agreed to help. And Bubba got to work making the cure. But there was still an issue. We would need all the Labubus close together. That part was up to me. I recorded my new friend's voice to attract all the Labubus. And they all came running. The only problem was they were all running for me. Luckily, Bubba made the cure. To save all the Labubus at once. Well, almost all of them. And later that week, I was sent into orbit to investigate something strange. A massive sleeping Labubu had appeared in space. We called it Moon Boo-Boo. I was hesitant to get too close, but Chubbs was determined to wake it up, and I couldn't stop him. But when he did, it was not happy. The Moon Boo-Boo headed straight towards Earth. We couldn't keep up. But right as it was getting close, it stopped. When Chubbs and I had landed, we found that the world had already changed. The Labubu head in the sky caused some people to freak out, while others believed it was here to help. Labubus began leaving their villages and fighting campers. We didn't know it at first, but the bites were infected and were transforming people into Labubu hybrids. Nobody was safe. The Moon Boo-Boo hovered over Earth for years, and in an attempt to figure out why, the Labubu Defense Division was created. Being one of the first people to see the Moon Boo-Boo, I knew I couldn't just do nothing, so I joined the group, hoping to get some answers. And with more people turning by the day, we knew it was time. A few days later, we launched our first contact mission. But when the probe got close, the Moon Boo-Boo opened its mouth and unleashed a flurry of rock-like Labubus, which destroyed all of our hard work. I yelled for Chubs to get out of there, but it was too late. The Moon Boo-Boo had killed my best friend. After that, we decided to focus on what we could fix on Earth. I was placed in a squad and sent off to an area with a high Labubu hybrid population. We were hoping we would get answers, but instead we were met with violence. The battle started evenly matched. We had the firepower to hold them off, but just as it seemed like we might win, something terrifying appeared. It looked like a giant alien Labubu. This alien laid waste to my squad. It was ruthless, unstoppable, a killing machine. We could do nothing to stop it. And as the only survivor, I just barely made it out alive. I raced back to the Defense Division's HQ, but when I got there, they didn't want to hear about the monster I had encountered because they were too focused on what was happening above. A giant hand in the cosmos grabbed the Moon Boo-Boo and took it away to the unknown. Nobody knew why, but the Moon Boo-Boo was gone. Years have passed since that day, and civilization is trying its hardest to rebuild. I was given a promotion and have dedicated my life to working with scientists to make a cure. I knew the giant Labubu was the key to getting that, but nobody even believed it was real. So one night, I went searching for the beast. It seemed like I would never find it until my van flipped over. And when I crawled out, it was right there waiting for me. I hit the monster with everything I had. I thought I was prepared this time, but even that wasn't enough. Things were going from bad to worse. Time for a strategic withdrawal. I sent out a distress signal, but I knew the reinforcements would be too late. And the creature was hunting me. So I used every last bit of my strength to try fighting back. Even though I could barely hurt it, I wasn't about to go down without a fight. But in the end, it beat me. The last thing I remember was the monster standing over me, followed by a massive explosion. I woke up 3 days later. Everyone was surprised to see me alive. But more importantly, they were excited to show me the good news. They had caught the alien Boo-Boo, and it was the first real step to fixing what the Moon Boo-Boo had done to the world. Bubba had a plan that he thought might work, but something told me this wasn't the end.